Right, today I'm going to show you how to use Strong's Concordance of the Bible. This is a red letter edition. The reason why it's called a red letter edition is because it all the words of Jesus are highlighted in red, and it's expanded with the best of Vine's Dictionary of Old and New Testament Words. This book is used in conjunction with Thayer's Greek English Lexicon of the New Testament and Gesenius's Hebrew Chaldean Lexicon to the Old Testament. Also, we'll have a look at the book called The Treasure of Scriptural Knowledge, which it basically is a book complete with 500,000 scriptural cross-references and parallel passages. The reason why we need these tools is because usually when you get a Bible, it just comes with like this. There's no index in the back of it. If we just go to the back of this Bible, there's no index there. And also, there are very few footnotes or no marginal cross-reference at all. However, there are Bibles. This is the New King James Version. This one does come, you can see that's the New King James. This one does come with a marginal cross-reference system, so you can look up other passages in the Bible, and it should come with some footnotes as well, and it does include an index. Not every word though of the Bible is indexed here, just quite a few, but not every single word. That's why there's Strong's Concordance. Every single word of the Bible has been indexed alphabetically, and you can also look up the original words as well, because there's a Hebrew and a Greek lexicon included with Strong's Concordance. Every word is given a number. So if you want to look up the word life, we turn to the word life here in Strong's Concordance. I've got it like marked, but I put a pen in between there so that I can find it quite easily. So you can see there, this is the word life. It gives you the Bible references where the word occurs and the concordance number. Sometimes it's the same number consistently all the way through. Other times you find other words that are rendered life, like this number here, 5315. And I was speaking about the words of Jesus being highlighted in red. You can see here that the words of Jesus are highlighted in red, and other words are just in standard black ink. So here you can see that there's two different Greek words rendered life. There's 2222 and there's 5359. And if we want to look these words up, we have to, if we can't remember them, it's best to write them down. So it's Hebrew 5315, Greek 5590. And what we do, we can turn these words up in the concordance. So we're looking for 5315. This is like, does it give it? So here we have the dictionary of the Hebrew words. So we're looking for the word 5315. If you can't remember, like I said, you want to write it down so you can quickly look it up. So we're here now at the Hebrew word 5315, which can sometimes be translated life. If you look here, it says a breathing creature, animal of vitality, used very widely in a literal accommodation or figurative sense, bodily, soul, life. So the word is translated soul here 475 times. It's translated life 117 times, person 29 times, mind 15 times, art 15 times, creature referring to an animal 9 times, body 8 times, and so on. And then it gives you the meaning of the word. Nefesh means soul, self, life, person, art. The basic meaning comes from its verbal form, nefesh, which refers to the essence of life, the act of breathing, taking breath. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. From this, many abstract meanings were developed. In its primary sense, the noun appears in its first occurrence in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 20, the moving creature that has life, and in its secondary occurrence as a living soul, a living body. So we can then compare this and get some more information by looking it up in Gesenius's Hebrew and Chaldean lexicon. So we're going to look it up now in in Gesenius's Hebrew and Chaldean lexicon. It starts off here, as you can see, 5315. Breathe, breath of life. The soul, by which the body lives. The token of which life is drawing breath, the seat of which is supposed to be in the blood. Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 11. So if we look this up in our Bible, in Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 11, for the life or the soul of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it for you on the altar to make atonement for your souls, for it is the blood that makes atonement by the soul in it. And here's a more clearer translation. For the soul of the flesh is in the blood, and I myself have put it upon the altar for you to make atonement for your souls, because it is the blood that makes atonement by the soul in it. And you can even go into, if you want to go deeper, you can look at an interlinear translation, make sure it's got the concordance numbers underneath or above the words, and then you can look them up quite easily, and you can see that the soul is within the blood, and this is explained by modern science as the respiratory system, because the soul means to breathe, and therefore when we breathe in oxygen, it is spread around the body through the red blood cells. So here it's speaking about the respiratory system. And back into the concordance, it goes on like basically to describe different definitions of the soul. I think this has been taken from Vine's dictionary of all the New Testament words, because I don't remember the original being that long. Now we come to the Greek dictionary. So the word here we're looking at, again, that is rendered life, is 5590. And 5590 is the Greek word for soul, psyche, which means to breathe. The animal sentiment principle. So they're saying here that the soul isn't immortal. It's distinguished from the word spirit or pneuma, but the spirit and the soul are not immortal. So this is a bit misleading, but they are making the distinction, and they are saying that the psyche or the soul is not immortal. Psyche refers to breath, the breath of life, that vital force which animates the body and shows itself in breathing of animals, Revelation chapter 8 and verse 9, and of men. So we can look this up in Thayer's Greek English lexicon of the New Testament. And this is Thayer's Greek lexicon of the New Testament. Again, it's saying breath, the breath of life, the vital force which animates the body and shows itself in breathing of animals and of humans. There's another word as well. This one's an adjective, not a noun. Belonging to, having the nature and characteristic of the soul, of the principle of animal life which men have in common with the brutes or the beasts. Because man and animals all have one breath. So the treasure of scriptural knowledge. This is the cross-reference system that I was referring to, because, like I was saying, this Bible doesn't have a cross-reference system, whereas this Bible's got a marginal cross-reference system, and this Bible has a marginal cross-reference system. If it'll just focus in, you can see the cross-reference is there. You look at the small letter A there in verse 7 next to the word hope, and then you look it up in this concordance here, and it takes you to in this marginal cross-reference system, it takes you to like Psalm 38 and verse 15. But there's more cross-references with this book. I'll just show you, like from Genesis. Each chapter is given a description at the beginning of it. So you got like chapter 2, it's giving you a description of the chapter. And then there are certain words, like the word beginning, that's got loads of different cross-references to it. In verse 2, you've got 2 cross-references, one for the word without and another for the word spirit. 4, 7, there's day and evening. The let there be sequences, let there be light. So that's what you do. You find the word in the Bible that you want to look up, or the chapter in the Bible, or the verse in the Bible that you want to look up. You go through this cross-reference system. You find it, and it'll have like a word that you look up. My servant David, Hebrew, to my servant, and there's a couple words. Walked, any of the tribes. Let's have a look at the New Testament. So we're in Luke here. It's better to, all this stuff's online basically, but it's better to have physical copies of it, because you can remember it a lot better if you're looking it up and spending the time to actually look the stuff up. And all this stuff was created in the 19th century, and back then in the 19th century, they didn't have computers and stuff, so it all had to be done by hand and by memory, and that's when these tools were created. And it's just a shame that people aren't using them in a physical form anymore. People are just using online versions and they're becoming lazy. They're not even reading the Bible anymore. They're just using it online, and you probably forget the order of the books and the chapters and the verses as well. If you're using a physical copy, it'll stay in your mind a lot easier.